What's going on, boys? I got the Thursday Night Football $100 into over $300 two-man parlay for you guys. But before we get into those picks, if you boys could please drop a like and subscribe, that would help me out a ton. Every like, every subscribe, every comment, any kind of interaction I get from you guys on this channel helps me out so much. So you can please do that before we get into the picks. I'd really appreciate it. Obviously, I did want to talk to you guys about chalkboard parlay play and sleeper. Obviously, 100% deposit match up to $100 when using code SBL on all three of those apps. That does boil down to you guys get $100 per app depending on what you put in. Obviously, I would recommend put in as much as you possibly can because $100 back for completely free is a lot better than, say, $20 back for completely free. But of course, $100 on each app means that you guys can make $300 if you sign up for all three of these apps with code SBL. Obviously, you do get other stuff depending on what the app is. Chalkboard, again, you get that deposit match up to $100, but you also get one exclusive free pick over on Parlay Play. Again, deposit match, but you get a $5 free game at signup that does not require a deposit at all. You get that free game no matter what you put in. But again, I do really recommend that you guys do put in as much money as you possibly can because those deposit matches are such free money. And then over on Sleeper, you guys do get a free $20 entry at sign up. No deposit required for that. Same kind of deal with Parlay Play, but it's $20 instead of $5. So really good deals on all three of them. Again, code SBL if you guys want any of those. But where am I going with this? $100 per app, guys. I made so much money when I first started betting, just taking advantage of every deposit match that I possibly could, like hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Again, if you guys sign up for all three of these apps with code SBL, you guys can make $300 in less than 5 minutes. It'll take you guys max 5 minutes to sign up for all three of these apps. And again, $300 free dollars in your account. Absolutely amazing. But with that being said, this is where you guys can use these apps. Parlay Play, any of those yellow states, you guys can absolutely bet on Parlay Play. Chalkboard, any of those green states, you guys can absolutely bet on Chalkboard and Sleeper. This map will go for both of those two apps. So green states, Sleeper, and Chalkboard. Yellow states over here, Parlay Play. I did want to show you guys one more thing before we get into the picks, though. This is a screenshot from Parlay Play. This is how they do their payout boost for anything more than a two-man. Yes, I do give you guys two-mans for most of the week. Only exceptions are for Saturdays and Sundays. But if you guys have any of your picks that you want to throw in mixed with mine, you guys can get huge payout boosts over on Parlay Play. Obviously, 5% boost for every pick over a two-man that you do. So three-man, 5%, four-man, 10%, and so on. Very simple, but you guys can get huge payouts off that. And then over here is the Chalkboard promo page. This promo page is so sick. Slash lines, boosted payouts, all that great stuff. For every single sport, obviously NBA, NFL, NHL, whatever you guys like to bet on, they're always going to have slash lines, boosted payouts, all that good stuff for all those sports every day. And again, it's an entire page. You guys have so many picks to choose from there. And then last thing is these two sleeper slash lines. These are for new users only. So again, if you guys do sign up for the sleeper app with code SBL, you guys do get that 100% deposit match up to $100. You guys get that $20 free game, and you guys also get some slash lines for NBA. This SGA one is valid until Friday. So if you guys are going to do that, get it in soon. And then this Ant one is valid until Saturday. So again, if you guys are going to sign up for Sleeper, do it now. You guys get some awesome free picks for it. But with that being said, we're going to jump over to Prizepicks and talk about some Thursday night football. Lions versus Cowboys. This should be a very good game. Obviously, two really good teams. The Cowboys have looked absolutely outstanding the last few weeks. But our first pick is going to be CeeDee Lamb over 9 receiving targets. He's gone under this exactly 2 times this entire year when he's played the whole game. Obviously, if you guys go look at his stats against the Bears, he has 0 targets because he got hurt in like the first quarter of that game. So we're not looking at that. We're looking at the Raiders game and the Commanders game being his only 2 misses. Both those games, the Cowboys won by 3 possessions or more. So I'm really not looking at that too much. Obviously, Dak throws a ton, even in games that they're absolutely blowing out the other team. But in those games where they are blowouts, they're throwing to like random third stringers. They're not really looking at their main guys as much. So again, really not worried about those misses. And then right here, is his only tie of the season. If you guys watch that game, he had 4 or 5 targets called back because PI was called on him. The refs were just letting flags fly that entire game. Some of those calls I don't necessarily agree with, so we kind of got screwed there. Or I should say CD kind of got screwed there as far as his targets go, but I absolutely love this. Obviously, Detroit has a very good team. I think that this is going to be a very pass-heavy game from both offenses. So with that being said, obviously, 9 receiving targets for CeeDee. Absolutely love it. Our pick for the Lions is going to be JMO. We're taking him over 83.5 receiving yards. This line has bumped up quite a bit from when I saw it earlier. Obviously, it was at like 79.5, 80.5, something like that earlier. I really don't care what this line's at. I really like this line anyways. Obviously, Amon-Ra is out. Sam Laporta has been out for weeks now, so their only true receiving threat that they've got is JMO. Obviously, this game against Green Bay, Green Bay's defense is very, very good. Amon-Ra got hurt in the first quarter of that game. He ended with 144 yards. Um, yeah, I'm sure they're going to use Gibbs in the receiving game a lot. But as far as outside receivers, you're really not going to be able to have any success in a game if you're not throwing to an outside receiver a decent amount. And obviously, they're down to JMO and Isaac Tesla. So they're pretty thin as far as receiving goes right now, and obviously JMO is a very talented receiver, super super fast guy. I definitely see them throwing a lot of screens to him, a lot of short drags, things like that. Getting him out in space where he can just make a move, use his speed to get a ton of yards. So I really really like 83.5 yards for him. Obviously, I've talked about this a ton throughout this entire season, but Dallas has a bottom 3 passing defense in the entire league. So no matter how the Lions play this, I'm absolutely sure that their wide receiver one's going to drop 84 yards at least. So I really, really like that. These are 2 picks I've got for you guys for tomorrow's Thursday night football game. Obviously, CeeDee Lamb more than 9 receiving targets. I really, really like that. Just because he's really only gone under this 2 times the entire year. They're both blowouts. And then on top of that, didn't mention it earlier, but George Pickens is absolutely horrible against man coverage. If you go look at 2 teams that run a decent amount of man coverage, one's the Jets. He had like 4 catches for 40 yards. And on top of that, Detroit runs the second most man coverage in the entire league. So Pickens might not have a very good game. I do see a lot of targets going to CeeDee, though. And then JMO, more than 83.5 receiving yards. Again, really, really like where this line's at. He's pretty much their only good receiving threat at this point, unless you want to throw Gibbs in that conversation. But obviously, 84 yards is not a lot to ask from basically a wide receiver one going against Dallas, who has been very, very bad in the past game. But I do have one more thing to show you guys before I get out of here. Obviously, $100 turns into $300 over here on Prizepicks. I did say we're going to turn $100 into over $300. That is because over here on Parlay Play, 9 receiving targets for CeeDee, 82.5 for JMO. Same exact lines, except JMO's 1 yard lower. So again, really like where these lines are at. Obviously, that would turn into $326 over here on Parlay Play. You guys are getting an extra 26 bucks for throwing it in on a different app. I know not a lot of people are going to want to bet 100 bucks. That's totally fine. You guys are still getting some extra money for throwing it in on a different app. Obviously, a $20 bet on Prizepicks would turn into $60. If you guys put it in over here on Parlay Play for $20, you're still making an extra $5, a little bit more than $5. So again, whatever amount you guys like to bet with, I do really recommend you guys throw it in on Parlay Play. The payouts are always going to be better. But with that being said, that's really all I've got for you guys today. So I'm going to get out of here. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow.